All right, we all know my stance, or we should all know my stance by now when it comes to the LGBT community. A lot of people are still trying to push and encourage me to be a little bit more feminine or a little bit more, like towards like this push of like you can't be masculine or you can't, you can't push these boundaries of a masculineness of like putting boundaries there when it comes to certain things that men should do and etc. That people are like, oh well, men can do this and that too, and then they push all these boundaries that are kind of blurred lines for LGBT purposes. But I mean, I have a Holly Bailey doll in my house, which I was still kind of picky about because obviously I'm not a girl, I'm not a young girl, or I'm not a woman that really needs a doll in his house. But I got a Holly Bailey doll because my therapist was like, oh well, you can get the doll, you should get the doll, I encourage you to get the doll. I said, oh fine, I'll get the doll, just because I wanted it, because it was it was basically supposed to be Holly Bailey, which is basically the only reason why I got it, not to really play with it or do anything crazy with it. But I mean, I got a doll that was supposed to be Holly Bailey, so I got it. And I like things that are supposed to be sought after of my favorite celebrities. But you know, I mean, childhood trauma basically made me explore a lot of things, and being in the system. And being in the system, and etc., made me explore a lot of things. It made me kind of branch out and try to certain things. I mean, I had one personal friend at one point in time. I'm no longer friends with her because she's, she has more and more. She looks like she's just on drugs, and she looks like she's sprung out, and she looks like she's just nasty as fuck. But there was this one woman I was friends with, and she got me, she got me to kind of say I was gay, and I was never really gay. I was always bi. But she's like, you can't like guys and be, and like women at the same time, which is not necessarily totally true. So for a while there, she had me coming out as gay or just being gay, and I'm not really gay. So I don't even think of myself as a cross dresser. I don't think of myself as wearing makeup. I don't see myself as wearing any of that. So for people to be like, oh, he's gay or this and that, I had a moment where I had a time of frame of my life where I was kind of low self-esteem, going through some things, and guess I would call it an experimental phase to just find myself, an experimental phase to find myself and to go what I'm going to go with what I was going through. Um, I went through this experimental phase, and it had me kind of, seek out, relationships with other guys at one point in time. But um, am I necessarily part of the LGBT community? I don't know. My therapist seems to my therapist seems to think that I could still be part of the LGBT community, even though I'm not transgender, and even though I don't really want to believe in wearing anything that's feminine or etc. That I can still be, part of the LGBT community for at least exploring the fact that I wanted to be with a masculine guy. So I say masculine guy because just the femme guys that are really a turn off, and it goes into all these different categories and things that are just turn offs. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say that I'm looking for a masculine guy because I'm not masculine, or I'm not necessarily, manly enough to, be masculine. But it basically varied into a bunch of different things, and some of it was trauma, some of it was just low self-esteem because I got hurt a lot, and some of it was an experimental phase, and I was trying to find myself. I mean, I call it experimental phase because apparently now that I'm on my own and I'm doing a lot of self-reflection and stuff, I really kind of don't agree with what it really means to be part of the LGBT community. I mean, obviously I've experimented. I've had that openness to being with a guy. I've kind of seen men, but I really I really don't see myself as part of the LGBT community because most people who are gay cross dress or wear feminine things, and I'm not somebody who believes in that. I'm not somebody who believes that it's a good idea to have these transgender bathrooms and these bathrooms that are mixed for transgender people as well as people who are you know um like women and stuff. I don't think that's a really good thing to do. So, Yeah, my mom had an issue when she was down in Arkansas, I think too, where a guy was in the woman's bathroom, and she had to get out of the woman's bathroom at a McDonald's or something, or wherever she was, because there was an issue or something, and she almost like had a heart attack because a guy was in the bathroom, or in the situation there. So, and she screamed, and it was almost like a huge issue for her. So, um, it's a matter of public safety, basically. I mean, is it really going to be I mean, obviously, people want to have a bathroom for transgender people. Why don't we make a third bathroom situation and make for transgender people, so we don't have to mix it between the women that rather not be with people that were once men that that don't have to feel uncomfortable. I mean, there's people that are going to feel uncomfortable with it. There's people that are not going to feel uncomfortable with it. But I mean, as I go forward, I'm not going to say I'm suppressing myself. I mean, I've had moments where I try to find myself and etc. But the person who I once was when I was trying to find myself and be open to such things as seeing other men and maybe more of a metaphysical witchcraft type of thing and etc. is kind of changing and it's kind of growing. And when I change and I grow and my views change and grow and they change and things change with them and I change with them, that I can say I don't believe in certain things anymore, or at least I'm not for certain things anymore. And that's how I know. I think I might have never been LGBT. I might have just been open about it, or just open to seeing a guy, because of because of traumas and trying to find, healing and trying to find myself and healing in the situation that was not going to just be based off of trauma, but based off of something that was going to be more healing towards my overall mental health and etc. But, I don't know. Sometimes dating a guy is a bunch of douches too. So guys are douches. And it's true. I mean, gay guys are douches too. So it doesn't matter if you're straight, or it doesn't matter if you're if you're gay. I mean, guys are douches. So, but I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm changing my views on the LGBT community a little bit. I did kind of keep my pride flag. I did kind of keep my bi pride flag, which I put aside, and I did not donate right away to Goodwill, but I can still donate it in the future if I change my mind. But I kept my bi pride flag. It's the only thing I had that really kind of represented me also still liking women and also still liking, also still being open to the idea of men, that I had this bi pride flag, Unfortunately, there's not enough room in the house to hang up all my flags or put up all my flags where I would like them. So I got a lot of flags right now that are kind of just sitting in a container or sitting in a situation right now that are kind of not being displayed, But some of them are going to have purposes too. I mean, I want to do some things where, like role play type of things and things too. And I think some of the flags I have are more for like, role plays and things. Some of them are really for meaningful things, like, political meaningful things. But a couple of the flags I have, that are, for more entertainment purposes, like Nicki Minaj on the American flag, and, and Ice Spice on the American flag and etc. are more for more for role play entertainment purposes. But so it's just a matter. I mean, I have purposes for everything I'm trying to get, whether it's entertainment wise, whether it's role play wise, whether it's this or that. There are reasons why I want certain things. So am I going to be able to go into all the details of what exactly, why, and when? No, not really, because some of it's really personal, and some of it could go into explicitness, which I don't want to get into. But regardless, I have a purpose for almost everything on my wish list right now, and a purpose for why I don't support other people as much as I once did, because obviously, I got rid of over 15 bags of stuff, 15 bags of cultural books, Actually, I got rid of over 5 bags of cultural books. No, wait. 5 bags of cultural books, and then a bunch of other books besides that. I got rid of over 5 bags of cultural books and more than that. I think I got rid of over 15 bags, and at one point in time in my house. So, Am I trying to look forward to bringing a lot more into my house? No, not really. There's some things on my wish list I would like, that are more direct than what I want. But I'm not looking to go to Goodwill and go look around at random things at Goodwill and just pick up random books and random things I don't necessarily need. I'm more looking forward to trying to just get the books I would like off my wish list, even if I have to pay a little more for them and read those and not really have to collect a bunch more stuff, except the stuff that I really wanted, to begin with. So that's where I'm at. And I had LGBT stuff on my wish list. I took it off because obviously I don't know. I don't want to say I'm suppressing anything, but I'm not really necessarily part of. Yeah, I'm not really necessarily part of the LGBT community because I don't believe in some of what the LGBT community stands for. And just because I obviously went through some childhood trauma and I had to find myself and feel like I had to experiment, or I feel like I did experiment, or went through this phase where I had that experimental stuff and stuff like that. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm part of the LGBT community. It could just mean I just was trying to find myself. I kind of had low self-esteem, or I was just going through something and I was trying to be open to things that I probably shouldn't have been open to, and going through things and put myself through things and situations with some people and and things that I just didn't want to. I really shouldn't have done so. Looking back at some of the gay stuff, the gay relationships or the bi relationships I've had, I don't necessarily like some of the people I don't know. I mean, people are exes for a reason. Let's put it that way. People are exes for a reason. You get your exes for a reason. You go through your situations for a reason. People, and come and go for a reason. So, but at this point, it is what it is. I am. I'm starting to realize more what I want to see for the country, more what I want to see for myself, and more where I really do stand. I feel like I'm a lot Epinobi, kind of. I'm a lot Epinobi in a way where I don't really want to really judge, people who were once liberal, because obviously I was once liberal too, or at least trying to be once liberal and trying to be on the liberal side, but I no longer believe in what they believe in. I no longer believe in what they believe in. I no longer see the things the way that they do. But I do still kind of admire some liberal people. I still admire some liberal people and some liberal artists. I mean, Willow Smith, Amanda Steinberg, and a couple other people, who are really leftist people. I mean, some of them are younger, but they're legal, but they're younger. I mean, I had this conversation too with somebody that I said, hey, as I get older, other people get older too. So, a lot of these younger celebrities got older. They're in their 20s now. They're in their 20s, or basically legal enough to say, oh, they're pretty, they're attractive, or whatever else. Or they're growing into a nice looking woman, as a guy would like to say. So, it happens. It happens. I mean, it's not like they're younger and they're always going to be younger forever. I mean, we all grow, we all change, we all evolve. I mean, I'm going to be 36. I'm going to be 36 at the end of the year. For the end of the year, I'm going to be 36 years old. So, I'm going to be starting the next 5 years of my 30s, and then 5 years after that, I'm going to be 40 years old. So, I'm going to be 40 years old after that, and I'm going to, God bless me, huh? Well, I don't know. I think, more and more I'm going through things too. I mean, not just emotionally and physically, but I mean, with my material items, I'm going through things. I'm looking at things I have, and I'm trying to see what I could donate and what I could get rid of, and etc. Because there's not a lot I want to take with me. If I move, there's not a lot I want to take with me. If I die, there's not a lot I can take with me. But I mean, there's just so much, And with all this stuff with P. Diddy, too, all this stuff with P. Diddy in the entertainment industry, I think it might change people's minds about buying entertainment and stuff like that. I have a feeling it might change people's minds in buying the entertainment and buying the music that people listen to and stuff, and supporting people. It might change some people's minds when it comes to who gets really supported and stuff in the entertainment industry, because of these big execs being accused and everything else, and all these other celebrities and stuff, and the record labels and stuff that they were under being accused of all these sex parties and stuff with, with P. Diddy and stuff. So, apparently, it's gonna be a big thing. It's gonna be a big eye opener. And I was telling my mother about it, and my mother was like, "Wow." I don't think my mother realizes how deep everything is with P. Diddy and stuff, and how it's really going to affect certain people and stuff like that. So, but anyways, just doing my thing, But anyways, I want to come on and just talk about, where I stand with LGBT stuff, because I'm obviously not, I obviously don't believe what I once believed in. I obviously don't have the same views of where I once was, I don't have the connections to some of the people I once had, Obviously I moved on, and they're moving on, and we're all moving on, and things and shit had happened, and I don't feel the same way as I once did. So, but yeah, I don't think I'm really part of the LGBT community. I think I was once open to the idea of being with a male and with a man, but doesn't necessarily make me LGBT or make me part of that, alphabet mafia type of shit. No, it really doesn't, And some people, if they found out too, which I've been being vocal about it and honest. The right person's going to love me regardless. I'm going to find a woman, and hopefully she'll love me for me. But because there's people out there, there's women out there too that are also ex-LGBT people too, from the alphabet mafia. They're ex-LGBT people, and there's women out there too that say, oh, I'm no longer part of the LGBT community. I'm kind of reformed. I'm kind of changed my views on where I stand on being part of the LGBT community, and now I believe this or that, And some people are like that, Some people are like to change their views and change, how they feel about society and the culture. So, religion and politics kind of play hand in hand. Although my mom says you shouldn't really mix religion with the state or mix God with the state, but God and the state kind of play hand in hand in our culture. And whether it's whether it's true or not. It's true. But, at least it's true to me that God and religion go hand in hand, and they play a big part in our culture. But, it's the overall outlook of things and how some people view things and how some people don't. But I think we are going to get Trump back in office for 2025, and Trump's going to be in there for another 4 years or more, depending on the situation. But I think a lot of people are done with Kamala Harris, and a lot of people are done with the situation. But only time will tell. The elections are coming up in November, so only time is going to tell who's going to get into the office, If Kamala does get into office, there'll be some things I'll be thankful for, and there's some things I won't be thankful for. But if Trump gets into office, I'll really be glad. But either way, I'm not going to throw a big fit about it. Nothing really much has changed. Besides the political jar jar, basically whatever it is that people want to push out there. That all that stuff's still kind of relevant. But My mother tried to raise me as a conservative. I am kind of I want to say lightly conservative, but I am kind of more conservative now that I've been more, liberal. But, and the conservatives are making sense to me, too, when it comes to the anti-wokeism, the stuff with the border, the stuff with certain things and certain rights and things people have, and, and how society is going. The Republicans really do speak to me as somebody going forward. So some people might be upset about it, some people might not care, some people might defriend me. A lot of people did defriend me. I've had a lot of people kind of remove themselves from my pages, both personally and artistically. I've had people remove themselves from my pages. So I've lost some people, but if the people really can't handle it and I just feel like they need to go, they can go. I'm not going to sit here and throw a fit or nothing. I have like over 1,000 friends on my Facebook. I mean, I have people, artists, artists and etc. still on my Facebook and etc. That, and I don't know if I'm going to necessarily be able to really support or really want to put money to really support too much. Just that maybe share their post and get the word out there for their posts. But I mean, I don't think I'm going to be overly supporting or sharing different things for different people. But when it comes to like my money. But I mean, I will share posts. I will do what I have to do in that regard. But money wise, it's just not going to be. It's not something I plan on sharing or posting to people too much because I need it right now for me. So, but I do have over 1,000 artists on my page still. So, I have over 1,000 artists. So it doesn't matter. I mean, I defriended some people because people were still talking about, the National Beat Poetry Foundation. So I removed some people because obviously the National Beat Poetry Foundation and me are not, it looks like we're not getting back together. I mean, people are expecting me to come back and apologize, but I'm not really going to sit there and apologize because there's nothing I really did wrong. I mean, I think they feel like they did nothing wrong either, but yet there is an issue when it comes to working with certain people and how people are doing me wrong, and yet I can't speak on that because obviously people really do want to work with other people for the sakes of their careers, and if I'm getting in the way of that, then I'm disposable. So that's basically what happened. The publisher says, "Oh, I want to work with these people. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that." So Carl's basically disposable. The thing is too with the publisher, I was actually very loyal to the publisher. I was very loyal to the publisher, and I was going to be very loyal to the publisher, except in my time of need. There was a time of need, basically, when it came to, supporting myself and supporting the publisher. That the publisher threw me under the bus because she said she didn't want to agree on that situation, and she felt a different way about it. So, and because of that, she kind of threw me under the bus about it instead of like really kind of saying, "Oh, Carl, I got you." And after you got me this whole time, and you were trying to support me and be loyal to me and the foundation, that I got you. And she didn't really get me. She kind of just threw me under the bus and said, "Oh, well, there you go, Carl." So, she had these issues and she had all these disagreements. So, but I mean, she was truthful. I mean, you got to speak your truth. You got to say what you got to say. I mean, apparently she didn't agree. So, we obviously all know where how people feel and where we stand. So, I lost one of my biggest publishers. So, actually, I decided not to work with both my publishers because there were two publishers left after I stopped working with Hartford's Lit. There was at least still two publishers left I was working with and supporting and etc. But I ended up not being able to work with them and etc. because of what had happened and the disagreements and the views. So I ended up losing my publishers. I mean, I lost my publishers over the summer. No, actually, it was over the spring or the winter. Over the spring or the winter, I lost my publishers. I lost my open mic nights. I've lost all that because people don't want to agree with the views. People don't want to agree with how people feel. People feel like they have no time, no resources, and efforts to really go forward because nobody wants to agree and etc. So, but it's whatever at this point. My heart was in a good place for everybody. My heart was trying to be in a good place. I mean, I even wrote somebody and said, "Look, I'm trying not to cause drama or anything, and try to cause a scene. I just want you to know I don't agree with certain things, but I am trying to still support the open mic and still try to be respectful and stuff when I come and still try to support things." And I got a message like, "Well, we still kind of do. We still kind of support these things, and I don't really have a lot of time for this and etc." So I basically got told to basically fuck off and basically just to deal with it because we're gonna support the things and stuff that that we know that you don't actually like or care about, but you basically are going to have to sit there and suck it up and deal with it. So I basically got a big fuck you and basically told to just deal with the bullshit and the drama from certain people. I mean, I basically just I quit the open mic nights for about a month or two, right before they decided they weren't going to do the open mic nights. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a disagreement with everybody. I don't know necessarily what had happened, but apparently people decided they weren't going to do the open mic nights anymore. So there was no more open mic nights for me to be able to perform. So I haven't been able to perform in town. So, but so basically there's been a lot of changes. I mean, I've been kind of basically on my own because I lost a lot of my poetry friends that I was once friends with that were actually, I mean, if I could say friends sometimes lightly, because certain people were posers and some people didn't even like me. Some people were smiling in my face and really didn't care for my success or where I was headed. A lot of people were jealous. A lot of people were jealous of my support of the poetry, the poetry publisher, and etc. Because some people didn't like the poetry some people did not like the poetry publisher, and etc. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words because there's a lot I need to get off my chest and etc. But some people didn't like the poetry publisher and etc. So people were upset and people were throwing fits and etc. So that's basically what happened. I mean, everything got shut down. Everybody decided they didn't have time, they didn't have resources. There's other things going on, and other things need to be taken care of, and etc. So they shut everything down. So, I basically am just been kind of reinventing my page a little bit, trying to find what would work for me and how it would work for me, and kind of still working on a lot of stuff before the holidays. I'm still working on a lot of stuff to try to either get rid of or just declutter in my house so it looks a little bit better in here so I can enjoy the holidays and stuff, So, I already started spending a little bit of my mom's birthday and Christmas presents early. My mom gave me over $150 worth of gift cards. She gave me a $50 gift card to Stop and Shop, and she gave me a $100 gift card. A Visa gift card to whatever would take the Visa gift card. So basically, I was able to get some movies and stuff. I got a new DVD player, some movies. I got a duffel bag. I really didn't get too much I really needed with it. I mean, I should have, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I ended up just using it for some fun stuff, and that was that. Because I always try to get the things I need. It's always part of my routine. Always get the things you need before you can get some spending and etc. But my mom's gift card went to a lot of $5 movies off my wish list and etc. So I got a lot of $5 movies to watch. I'm just kind of sitting here, just doing me, not even really focusing too much on straining myself out over poetry or art right now or nothing, and kind of revamping my page and revamping my situation. I mean, there's a lot of like Facebook celebrity people I like to post about, which I post about, and still kind of keep my page geared towards the arts and geared towards the poetry and stuff and poetry people and etc. But I mean, I don't know. I'm still an artist, but I don't know how much art I'm going to be doing right now or what I'm going to be necessarily doing with that, because I'm kind of giving myself a huge break this year for the rest of the year on that, and I'm working on other things that need to be worked on, like my home and myself and etc. So I don't know. But anyways, that's how I feel. So. People betray you. Friends and people are going to betray you. People are going to throw you under the bus. People are going to make you feel some type of way. I mean, there's that whole thing with the Arts Council too. She's, there's a woman getting promoted with the Arts Council, and I asked her out for food or coffee. But if that was the least of my worries, just asking a woman out for food or coffee and being rejected, I mean, that person basically got the promotions and everything that I was hoping to have my friend kind of help me with a little bit too, to promote my artwork and etc. But she got all the promotions because she fits the better mold of what the Arts Council wants for Torrington, Connecticut, like Black Lives Matter and etc. And because she's a black artist, and because she has a bachelor's degree, and because she can do this and that, and she's more well put together and etc. with her LCC and etc. that she can do certain things, and I get basically thrown under the bus, so. I want to say something, but I'm not going to because I'll probably be censored from Facebook or, etc. But regardless, we were all mutual friends too. The person getting promoted was almost a mutual friend of mine, and up until the point I asked her out for food or coffee, and then she whined about it like a little girl. And then her friend, who was the friend of the arts council, was also friends with me, and I became friends with them because I supported local business, and I put all this money and time into local business, and just trying to be there for a local business, even when I didn't have the money and the time to be there for local business. And it paid off a little bit, and then it didn't pay off, and then obviously in the end I'm getting screwed because obviously now, years later, people feel different ways. They're moving up in their lives, or they're going through whatever they want to go through in their lives, and it's like, now it's like they want to separate or be like a fuck you. So that's pretty much what life is going like right now, and how it's being dealt with. So anyways, I gotta go check a couple things. I mean, I want to see if the mailman came. I'm expecting a package, so I'm gonna go see if the mailman came, and if not, I'm waiting for him this afternoon. I gotta make some lunch or figure out what lunch is gonna be soon, and I just chilling at this point. So, peace.